already with this new CBA trying to shorten the length of max term anyways. I think this is just, it's par for the course.
But what I guess the point, the counter to that is that's the league saying we want shorter. These are players saying we want shorter, which is kind of interesting because, like, I don't know what's going to happen with Marner. We've heard conflicting reports. Does he want a 4-year deal? Does he want an 8-year deal? If it's a sign and trade, it'll be an 8-year deal. I guess we'll find out, relatively soon. But I guess it comes down to the mentality of players, betting on yourself. And because there is an element of security that comes with 8 years, full no move. I know where I am. I know where I'm going. Sure, I could have made a little bit more money, but I don't have to worry about it anymore, and I'm just done. Like, you look at Florida, Bennett's not to the same status, but they're all like, just give me 8 years. And so I know I can just stay, and I'm done, and I'm not coming up again. And it takes, a different athlete, I think, to be wired that way. It's like, I'm comfortable playing for contracts and playing for the next one that's coming up.
The only thing is difference, though, is like Bennett's 29 and never really made huge money. So he'll takes the 8 years. These guys are 25, 20. What's nice? 24, 23? They're like, I'll take 6, I'll take 4, whatever, because they know this isn't their last deal.
True.
That's it. Like, they're like,
true enough.
That's why it makes it unique. Do you remember? Look at the Ottawa. Like, they signed how many guys at 8 years? Like, it was Brady, it was Stützle, it was Sanderson.
Montreal, same thing. Yeah, with Caulfield and Suzuki
and those deals are going to look amazing.
Dobson just signed for 8,
that was a great. I don't know if what you guys thought. What a great acquisition for Montreal. Like, that was
he's a good player. He's just adds an element of talent and skill and a guy in his prime.
I like that from Montreal's end. It's like you don't want that guy on your team. We'll take him on our team. Right shot defenseman that can play in all situations.
Yeah,
take him every time.
Wanted to be in Montreal, right? Was like craving that spotlight. Wants to be there.
You have him, and like that Goulie's a hell of a player. Like, he's and
got to
so
stay healthy. Like, that's the big thing with him. But
I mean,
you think of that decor, that they could put together for the next 5 or 6 years. Those are some good players, man.
Really good.
Yeah, they got that Reinbacher kid who blew his knee out or whatever last year, but they took him for 5th overall a couple of years ago.
Logan Mailloux kid.
Yeah,
obviously
they're going to flip someone like at some point, I would think, because they got a lot of bodies now on the back end. But it is a shrewd move by Montreal.
Yeah.
Like, smart
just
play.
Interesting to see now what is the Islanders' mentality. What are they doing there? Because that'll be a team to watch. Now, are we in all hell's breaking loose? Like, did I actually call it this time? Remember, I've been calling it for 10 years straight. But is really all hell's breaking loose here?
I don't think we've reached that level of insanity yet. Like Dobson that's a big deal. Good player, moving on. But again, there's a lot of re-signings, a lot of like avoiding of offer sheets and stuff like that. We'll see what comes of it tomorrow. If Marner just goes to Vegas, that's not like really crazy. It's just kind of anticipated now.
It'll still be heavy to talk about.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Marner signing and putting a different jersey on and showing up at some presser will be newsy.
Well, and Brad Marchand as well, if he gets to the market. That's, kind of legend of the game who could be available, and what his contract looks like and where he wants to play. I think it'll be very interesting.
Would it be more crazier if Marner went to like Anaheim for $14 million?
Yeah, so that would blow the doors off everything. If all of a sudden things break down with Vegas, and then he goes, screw it, I'm going somewhere else, and it's Anaheim or Utah or something like that, yes, then that would be different. But I always anticipate craziness being trades. Like, that's what I'm waiting for. Maybe the Islanders are that team. Like, maybe Barzal, maybe Horvat, maybe other guys. Maybe with Darsh there now and Lou out, they're like, we got to reset. We just took Matthew Schaefer. They just had a lot of picks in this draft.
Dude, who knows? They might take it down to the earth.
Well, then Sorokin maybe becomes available.
Well, that's where everyone in Edmonton's like, I was there, and people are like, oh, Sorokin's going to go. First of all, what are you trading for him?
Right.
He's a top 5 goaltender in the league, or close to it. If like, he's one of them, put it that way. What does he make? $9 million a year?
Yeah, it's 8 something or 9. Yeah, it's a lot of. It's a big ticket.
How you
going to
afford?
might have been one of those guys that Hayes and Jonas attacked when you were gone, Noodles.
That's not true.
And we saw how that
I
worked
don't
out
believe
for
so.
them.
I don't believe that's accurate. Jonas might have, but not me.
It was
I wouldn't
actually
do
blame
that.
it on
Jonas. It
Jonas.
was Jonas.
Yes.
He's a top-tier goaltender. And if he ends up looking for a change, it's just, how do you afford him? And what do you trade for him? Like if he's let's call him a top 10 player, top 10 goalie in the league, okay? You're not trading, the rights to Connor Brown and, a seventh defenseman. Like you're going to get a king's ransom back for that. So it's dumb to just link him somewhere unless if the Islanders are actually going scorched earth. But he's a good goaltender. He's been up and down under Patrick Waugh. And if
Jamie, what did you make of the other guy getting traded, John Gibson? It feels like John Gibson's been rumored to be traded for so long. I don't even remember John Gibson playing elite where you're like, somebody should trade for this guy.
Well,
I don't remember those days.
He had a good statistical season last year. Lucas Dostal was better than him. And
but do you think he's going to solve Detroit's issues in net?
I think if he's healthy, he's better than what they've had. Put it that way. But I will preface my comments saying this will be one of your lists, Brian, or one of our Jerry's. Who will play more games, John Gibson or Thatcher Demko? Because it sounds like Demko's looking at an extension potentially in Vancouver. And again, that's a guy when he's on his game is a top-tier goaltender. I think Gibson is outside of that top 10. But Gibson, I did that stat, guys. He left the net 19 times in 18 months.
Yeah, with injuries
and pulled and all of that. But that's crazy.
Detroit is just so desperate for goaltending.
Well, they do. They need it.
Yeah, they look at who they've acquired over the last 3 or 4 years, or just in the Yzerman era. It's just been crazy, and now Gibson's the guy. I mean, I don't think people in the East are overly concerned about that. I really don't. I don't think anyone's like, now Detroit's a real player because they have John Gibson.
But the weird thing is I thought he was like 35. He's 31. It's just he's been around a long time and, mileage, all of that type of stuff. But you're right. I think he's a good goaltender. But Detroit needs to make some more moves than that.
For sure, man. For sure they do. All right, Chris Johnston on all the goings-on, around the league, what we've seen already today, and what he projects to happen with Marner, Marchand, and more between now and midnight tonight or by noon tomorrow. So CJ coming up in about 20 minutes. Jays Yankees starting tonight, 4-game series down at the Dome. We'll tee that up throughout the afternoon. Duncan Keith is on the show later this afternoon, too. Nice. We'll catch up with him. That'll be great. Overdrive continues, TSN 1050 and on TSN 4.